plumbing laws. I'm a success teacher, and I work with 4th and 5th grade next door at McKinley. And we started doing this activity about 5 years ago when the state started testing science in a different way, and they gave us an experiment to do. So the science experiment that you are doing tonight, we did 4 years ago, I think. And once a science experiment is given out by the state, we never do it again. So we found that the kids really like this one because it's noisy. Some people are really good at this. Other people who work here are really not. Mrs. White flunked straws. So I'm not going to say it works perfectly every time, but I have extra straws. So you should have a straw per person. So if you have more than 2 people in your group, come on up and get a straw. Will you please? Everyone, and introduce the people who are helping tonight. You know Mr. Weaver, he's been in charge of our attendance graph. Mrs. Randolph, 4th grade, is doing door prizes. Mrs. Allen was out in the hall. Miss Dent, who can't stay away with all of her spirit, is out there. Mrs. Beauchamp has been doing the door prizes up there. Zachary Polak is over there on camera for us, taping it for us. He ran the TV station for the district for a while, and he's home from college, and we somehow found an in to get him to show up. Mr. Polak, his father's sitting over there. He's our 5th grade teacher. Mrs. Geiser and Mrs. White are back there doing the other estimation jar. Mrs. Trask is out in the hall handing out pencils for the attendants. And did I miss anyone? I did miss Kaya. She's out in the hall. I think we got them all. All right. I think probably the best way to get started is to do a door prize. I always find that that's a good way to get moving. Mrs. Randolph, would you let Mr. Weaver draw the first name, please?
J.D. done.
All right, J.D. J.D., when I draw for the next door prize, go over there and get a name and draw for the next door prize, please. Right now. We do them 2 at a time.
Are you ready? Zachary Skelton.
Zachary, all right. Zach, when it's time to draw for the next door prize, I'll have you come up and do it, but we're going to get started, okay? We talk a lot about what the state and what our curriculum is supposed to be, and we get, this is about sound and vibrations. So we're talking about some of the things that you would see in the real world that will be sound and vibrations. It will be pitch, whether it's high or low, it will be volume. They talk about the kinds of things where you would deal with this, and it would be a musical instrument, or radio, or television, animal sounds, thunder. So these are things that your child would experience in the real world. Now, in your packet, you have something called a science journal. If you would get that out, please. Now, I don't care who does the writing in the family. That's up to the people to decide who's going to do this. And these science journals are ours from the school, but when we do an investigation that the state gives us, they give us a book that looks like this. And the first thing that they always ask us to do is, what is the question we're going to investigate? So where it says what we're going to investigate, I need you to write this question.
Why do you take it up? Here we go.
Can a straw be, I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm going to read it, I'll read it from here. Can a straw be altered so that it will produce a sound, and can the pitch of the sound be affected by the length of the straw?
So what did you guys put? What was your estimation?
So
Or answer?
I think so, yes. Don't know how yet.
The next spot on your journal says, some things I already know about this. So talk a minute with your child and ask them some things you already know about. If you change the length of a straw, what's going to happen to the sound? Have a little conversation, see what they can tell you, and write down some of those things.
It can be changed by the length. Think of when you played the recorder in third grade. Would it have holes in it? Would that change it? No.
What about a trombone?
You're making it more difficult. When you played your recorder in third grade, how did that change the sound? What did you do to change the sound? And what did that do? Make it longer or shorter?
Here's some people already thinking they're going to blow into this and figure this out. So Hannah, what's going to happen? What do you guys know? Where's my portable microphone? Listen, where are the portable microphones? Anybody want to give me some information? What do you know about this? What are some of the things you already know about this? Who wants to tell me what you already know about this? All right, what do you know? Go ahead, Mrs. Randolph, what do we know?
That's good.
We know that short pitch and longer would be a lower sound.
Okay, that's very legitimate. The shorter it is, the higher the pitch is going to be. Now, underneath that, the next thing it says is what I think will happen. That's my hypothesis. It says, I think, what are you going to put there? That if you shorten the tube, the pitch will get higher? Whatever you and your child decide, or the longer the straw, the deeper the sound, put your hypothesis, what you think is going to happen, because we're going to end up cutting the straw short.
Oh, it doesn't make a noise, it just sounds like an earphone.
Okay, so
It doesn't make a noise.
what do you think will happen?
You're on candy camera.
So what did you guys put down?
We'll have a lower.
The hypothesis.
I don't know.
Okay.
It changes the airflow, but I don't know how it works.
Answer the question.
What do you think's going to happen?
I don't know. What do you think is going to happen? It's going to have a higher pitch or a lower pitch?
Higher pitch.
Higher pitch? That's what we we think is gonna happen?
All right.
Put a list of materials up here. The next thing on your journal is the materials. And these are the things that your child has to do during a science experiment. And you need the list. It says 6 plastic straws, 1 per person. They did this in groups of 6 in the classroom. So you need a straw, your journal. You've got a centimeter ruler, it's paper in there, a pair of scissors, and a marker. So those are your list of materials. And once we get our list of materials down, we'll drop 2 door prizes and then we'll start cutting the straws. Michael Max Werner, we need some girls to win. We need to shake this basket up. Max Alright, here's what you need to do. I've got it on the overhead. Take your drinking straw and flatten one end of it. You can use your scissors, you can use your teeth, you can use your fingernail, whatever works. But flatten one end of the straw. I use my scissors, but teeth works too. You want to lay it on the table a little bit and flat and run it with your scissors so it's fairly flat. Then the next step, the end that you flatten, and it shows you right here. You need to use your scissors and trim a little from each side so it will be shaped to form a reed, and it's right there. Kind of cuts the end off so it's a little bit flat on the end of the straw. So a little V and then a little end, flat end.
No, we're not done. They show us where you cut No, that's not
We're not quite ready yet. The next thing we need to do is take that metric ruler and start measuring every 3 centimeters from the round end, because that's the end we're going to be cutting from. So you're going to mark at 3 centimeters, 6 centimeters, 9 centimeters. But measure from the round end. And then we can start doing exactly that. Once you measure, and your magic marker, this is why, I don't know why you have so much trouble with this. These kids are not having any difficulty at all.
3 from the bottom.
Kristen!
If you're having trouble, wrap your lips around that flat end. It's almost to the right, and as I said, spit it a little.
Don't chew on it. Just use your lips, don't use your teeth.
Take your fingers and make the first cut. You're going to shorten your jaw by 3 centimeters.
So what did you guys record? What did you guys record on your paper? All right, thanks.
Make your next cut and do your next. Stephen Warner. Hey, Steve, go draw names, please. Over there. There you go, Stephen. Stephen, come on, the girls need a turn. Right here. There's a couple of ways, but I need you to record your data where it says tables, charts, and graphs. And this is essentially probably what you did. The longest, the shorter of the two. The original, it was the lowest. That's up at the top. And the shorter it was. You need to record how long it was and what happened to the pitch as you went along.
It was
major headache.
Now here comes the test questions that the state sent us to do with this experiment. The first question says, which is the best explanation for the results of the investigation you did? The longer the air tube, the higher the pitch. The shorter the air tube, the lower the pitch. The shorter the air tube, the higher the pitch. Or the length of the air tube does not affect the pitch. If you think it's A, stand up. Oh, good. If you think it's B, stand up. If you think it's C, put both hands on your head. Oh, good. All right, if you think it's D, raise your hand. Oh, we did well. Good job. By the way, when we took this, 92% of our students got this question correct. So obviously, we all understood that one pretty well. Next question. This is always hard for our students. It's about evidence. And what you need to understand tonight was, even though you each did your own individual experiment, as many people as did the experiment, we all had the same results. Nobody's pitch got lower as we shortened the tube. So everybody's experiment came out the same, so we all know everybody kind of came with the same evidence. Which of the following would give you additional evidence to support your conclusion? Use different colored straws. Repeat this experiment several times. Use paper straws instead of plastic straws in the investigation. Or use straws that have a flexible neck because they resemble a saxophone. You know, the bendy straws. Different colored straws, is that going to give us more evidence? If you think, oh good, I'm glad to know that. How about if you repeat it several times? Yeah, okay. And you're right. Paper straws, no. And flexible straws, no. All right, let's try the next one. Ethan had 6 identical soda pop bottles. He wanted to do his own investigation of sounds by blowing across the top of bottles, and we've all done this. He wanted to change the pitch of the sound as you did in the straw investigation. What would Ethan do to change the pitch of the sounds produced by each bottle? Leave all the bottles empty, add different amounts of water to each bottle, add the same amount of water to each bottle, add food coloring to the water in some of the bottles. What you can see is a lot of times these questions are tricky because they put 2 of them right next to each other. They're very much the same. B and C add different amounts of water, add the same amounts of water. Sometimes kids just don't read it as carefully as they should, and we don't always come up with the results we like. And they are kind of tricky. What do you think? Is it A? Is it B? Yes. Are we sure? What are we supposed to do? Read all the choices. Are we sure? If you think it's B, put both hands in the air. All right. Okay.
Right.
2 more. These are called cluster questions, by the way. They give the student some kind of paragraph to read or example or scenario, and then they ask them for multiple choice and one, what we call a constructed response, which is what in our other times we might have called essay questions. The difference is that students are encouraged sometimes to, instead of just write an answer, they can draw a graph, they can make a chart, so they can draw a picture, so they're not just limited to words. Which of the following is the best description of what happened when the cut of the straw was made? The sound was the same as the original sound. The sound was lower. The sound was slightly higher than the original. When you made your first cut, what happened to the sound? Did it stay the same? Did it go up, or did it go lower? What do you think? It went higher. Which one of those? A, B, C, or D? Good job. Now here comes the hard one. This is always the one that gives us a lot of trouble. Musicians playing wind instruments change the pitch of their instrument by changing the length of the air tube. Okay? This is done on the instruments like a flute or a clarinet by covering and uncovering holes with their fingers. This is really hard to me. Explain how this investigation could be changed so the straw instrument could produce the sound of a different pitch over and over. What could you do to your straw so you could make the same sound over and over again? Talk with your child for a couple minutes and we'll see what, and then I'll give you what the state tells us. What do you think you could do?
Mark it just like you did. It says on here.
Oh, we already got somebody over here who did it. Yeah, there you go. She made it into a flute and she put holes in it. And that would work right away. Tell her, can you think of anything else you could do besides turn it into something like that? Can you do anything else? Let me give you what they said were samples. Cut small holes in the straw at 3-centimeter intervals and use your fingers to plug and unplug them, which is what Mrs. Constance did. Changing, you could also, they said, slide one straw over the other and slide it up and down, okay? You could use a bendy straw and stretch the bendy part out and push the bendy part right. You could stretch it in and out. So those were possibilities. This was a 2-point question. You had to explain how you would do this and why it would change the pitch. I think this, to me, this is a really hard thing, and I'm glad we did it, but it's the kind of thing that we're being expected to do. So this is kind of why we do this tonight, so that you know this is what we're expecting of our students. It's fun, and this is obviously was a fun experiment. The kids always have a good time with this one. We have 2 more door prizes. We have our estimation jars, and then Mr. Weaver will dismiss people for refreshments, and I'll go get the daycare people. So, who was my last? Eric, you won last, right? You want to come up and draw? Come on, Eric. The girls are really upset.